So I decided to take a week off work so I could go play some golf because I hadn't been playing much this summer. Playing with one of the guys I work at one of the country clubs. Found a good deal on Golf Now. It's like $15, and heard good things about this course. Heard good things about the layout. I'd never played it. Wanted to play it. It's a pretty long course, 7,200 yards, and I hit my first drive pretty well as we were passing a foursome getting ready to tee off. So I kind of rushed that first one, just kind of bled over into the right rough, but still had a nice easy pitching wedge to the pin. Started about 5 yards left of the pin, and it faded with the wind to about 3 yards, just barely right of it. So I had a straight downhill putt basically. Had just gotten off the putting green, so I knew the speed perfectly, had the line picked out, and the first hole I've ever played at this course, birdied it. So I was feeling pretty good. Hit some balls before the round, was feeling pretty good with the swing as well. The wind was into us here, so I pulled 6-iron, just try to hit a little high cut. And as I've been doing a lot, just pulled it left of the green. I need to work on getting more hips and closing down my shoulders at address, because that's why I'm pulling it so hard. And I have about 5 or 6 pulls around. So I had an easy chip, just kind of chipped a little too far. It was downhill past the pin towards that pond you see behind me. And it just kind of rolled out more than I had thought. So I had a pretty decently easy 9-footer coming back up the hill, just a little right to left, but just pulled it. I've been pulling my putter really bad too, as you'll see in this video. But even to the first 2 holes, I couldn't really complain. So third hole is an easy par 5, 538 yards. You just kind of have to smack a driver up there somewhere, keep it out of that left bunker, and don't slice it 30 yards or you'd be in the heather. If you get it up there in the rough or on the fairway, you're going to be good because you'll have a shot at this green since the hole was so short. So at a perfect drive, had 2 of 3 in on my second shot, pulled a 5-iron because I wanted to fly it past the pin because the pin was up front, and just kind of pulled it a little bit, cut it a little heavy, and it didn't really bounce at all. It actually just stayed in its pitch mark there. But I had an easy chip, 56-degree wedge. I knew it would check up pretty well. It didn't as much as I thought, but it still checked up. So I had this 4-footer that I could tell what it was doing pretty easily. He got up there and hit it. So 1 under through the first 3 holes, not bad start. Coming to this birdieable par 4. You could drive the green, but I didn't want to take a risk not knowing what was right of the green and seeing all the bunkers up there. The pin is about the right house up there, so it's a pretty hard turn to the right. So just hit a driver. Would have got to the green, but I think it probably would have gotten caught up in one of the short bunkers. So here I am straight out from the tee, now just going with the dog leg here. Thought I hit a good chip, just came up short and kind of got caught up in the rough. But I still had a makeable birdie putt. Had it read pretty well. Just probably should have played a little less speed and a little more break, because I just burned the right edge on the putt. But I still had a makeable par putt. I knew what it was going to do because I had just seen it go past the hole, and I really liked the speed of the greens. So got up there, took a practice stroke, and made my par putt to stay 1 under through 4 holes on the round. Going to the 5th hole, it was a pretty tough hole, wind in the face. It was a little downhill, so I didn't think the wind or anything would be much of a factor. Decided to hit a 5-iron. I just wanted to hit it low, get it through the wind, drop it on the green somewhere, and 2-putt for my par. But instead, I think I just kind of stayed back on it a little bit, popped it straight up in the air, hit it really well, just got it up in the wind. And it came down in that front bunker you see there, but still had a pretty easy sand shot. So from this angle, you can kind of see how short I was. Probably flew about 190 or so. So hit my bunker shot, caught it a lot cleaner than I thought. Flew over the pin, so you couldn't see it land from that camera angle. But had about a 17-footer coming back from my par. Didn't really think that it would take that far off in the bunker, but it ended up flying out of there, and then it hit and just spun. So I two-putted for my bogey here to get back to even through 4 holes. Was pretty disappointed in that. Thought I had a really good bunker shot. So this one's wide open. You just got a pound driver up there. Make sure you stay out of those left bunkers. There's no trouble to the right. So I try to take a little bit of the swing right out of it, because the whole swing's just a little right. So I tried to swing it off to the right as well. Hit a pretty good one. Had 252 in. Hit a hybrid. Wind was coming right to left, so I knew I could get it up in the air and the wind would move it back to the left. Kind of chunked it a little bit, but not bad. It was just moving right to left and hit it so high it just didn't end up getting there. And then here, wrong club, the ball's above my feet. Should have hit a 56 or 52 in there. Chose a 60 and just kind of stubbed it. Hit just a little bit behind the ball, and it barely just rolled up on the green there for my birdie. So I couldn't be too mad. Had a 20-footer for birdie on a really long par 5, playing about 580 yards. Thought I hit this putt really well. It just broke a little bit more to the right than I had expected it to. But a par is a par. On a 580-yard par 5, that's a pretty good score. So hole 7, the wind was just a little into us. Caught this drive a little low on the face. Hit it really straight, but it just didn't get the distance I wanted. Went right up the left side of the fairway. Kind of kicked a little left in the rough, but still had a really good lie and a really good look at the green. So I tried to muscle up a 6-iron, which the wind wasn't blowing very much at this point. So I ended up pulling it into the bunker and had an awful lie. It was a downhill lie, and the bunker was rock hard, as you'll be able to see when I hit it. So the only shot I knew to hit here was just a low one that gets out of the bunker and hopefully spins. So hit it really well, actually. Was really happy with that shot. Had a 12-footer for my par. Just didn't hit a very good putt here. Was pretty disappointed after that bunker shot and my pretty good drive. But tapped in for bogey and went to 1 over on the round through 7 holes. So this is a pretty tough par 4, 450 yards. All these par 4s are long out here. 3rd handicap hole. The last one was the 1st handicap hole. Hit a really good drive, straight down the center. I pured it, had a 9-iron into the green. Was trying to guard against the pole, and so I just kind of pushed it out to the right. And that ball started right and stayed right. Landed just in between those bunkers. Went about 155 yards or so. So I didn't have a bad look at the green, but I should have still been on the green for sure from that distance and that line. Had a 60-degree wedge. Knew where I had to land it, and that it would check up pretty well. It kind of funneled all down the hole. So that gave me about a 5-footer for my par. And like the other 2 5-footers that I made today so far, knew the line, saw the line, hit a great putt, made my par. So this hole's where I was really frustrated today. So it was 457. The pin was right at the clubhouse there, right over the turn in the cart path. Decided to go right at it, ignore the fairway because I would take about 20 yards off. Hit a great drive, had 111 yards out. And I had told the guy I was playing with I really wanted to make birdie here to get back to even. So I had a 56, it was sitting up a little bit, a little downwind. Knew it would hit and stop because I picked it clean. Hit a perfect shot. Hit it to about 3 feet here. An easy kick in birdie. Perfect wedge, just hit, stuck, but I pulled the putt. Pulled the birdie putt. And ended up making par. Was pretty disappointed in that. But hit 3 fairways, had 5 greens, and 14 putts. So I had a little bit of momentum going into the back 9, was playing pretty well. So thanks for watching. The back 9 portion of this round will be up soon.